5 Best Electric Kettles of 2023 in Canada. Much in the way I still prefer books to e-readers, I have long been a traditionalist when it comes to tea. But as much as I love the look of a stovetop tea kettle, the ease and convenience of an electric kettle won me over as quickly as it boils water. Waiting for water to boil can feel agonizing, especially when it's standing between you and your caffeine fix. Whether you want to enjoy a nice cup of tea or coffee out of a pour-over dripper or French press, an electric kettle can get you sipping on your precious coffee or tea quicker. But the best electric kettles can do more than just heat water quickly. Some have digital temperature controls, automatic keep warm functionality, and even water temperature recommendations. We've tested some of the finest products on the market to help you choose the best electric kettle for you. The Cuisinart Perfect Temp is the best overall, and the Hamilton Beach 1.7-liter electric kettle is the best value. For those who need a slow drop to make pour-over coffee, the Cosori electric gooseneck kettle is the best gooseneck option. Number 1. Cosori Electric Kettle Glass Tea Kettle. Although the Cosori kettle took longer to boil, it had a wide opening that made it easy to clean, a simple on-off switch, and a spout that directed water into a cup and kept it off the countertop. Speed test. We filled each kettle to its stated capacity and timed how long it took to reach a boil, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Accuracy tests. For the variable temperature kettles, we programmed each to 4 different temperatures, 175 degrees Fahrenheit, 185 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 degrees Fahrenheit, and 200 degrees Fahrenheit, or the closest setting to each. We took the temperature at each setting with an instant read thermometer to gauge accuracy. Keep warm test. For the kettles that offered it, we selected the keep warm function, if the kettle had one, and assessed how long the kettle was able to keep 200 degrees Fahrenheit water warm for, taking the temperature after 15 and 30 minutes with an instant read thermometer. Taste test. After boiling and discarding the water several times, we tasted a sample of water from each kettle to determine if there were any off flavors. Pouring tests. We boiled a full capacity's worth of water in each kettle and poured the water into a mug to evaluate flow rate and how comfortable the kettle was to pour from. We then repeated this test, but with each kettle filled to half capacity. Usability tests. Throughout testing, we evaluated the functionality of each kettle's features, including its control panel. We also took into consideration other usability factors, like if the kettle's handle got overly hot when in use. Cleanup test. At the end of testing, we cleaned each kettle and its base. Number 2. Cuisinart FCC2 Programmable 5-Cup Percolator Electric Kettle. This kettle may not look like anything special, but it does its job exceptionally well, and at a very fair price for what it offers. 6 preset heat settings between 160 degrees Fahrenheit and 212 degrees Fahrenheit to help you steep green tea or black tea to their specific preferences. And easily discernible, intuitive buttons. Simply select your desired temperature and press start, and in a snappy 5 minutes, a series of beeps will let you know that your water is boiling. The machine automatically flips to a handy keep warm mode that resumes its cycle regardless of how many times you remove the kettle from the base. And the boil dry protection means it won't boil if you turn it on without filling it up first. This product is easy to use and speedily effective, earning it our top spot, plus, it comes with a 3-year warranty. Number 3. Hamilton Beach Glass Electric Kettle. It's likely that you have at least one Hamilton Beach appliance in your house, and if Amazon reviews are anything to go by, this kettle is wildly popular, and it's easy to see why. The Hamilton Beach is reasonably priced and was one of our fastest boilers, heating 1 liter of water in just over 4.5 minutes. It performs like a simplified version of our top pick, where the winning Cuisinart kettle has multiple temperature settings. This Hamilton Beach has just an on-off switch, and the kettle switches off instead of beeping when the water is done. If you're low on counter space, this product is among the most compact and unobtrusive on our list. It performs like a much more expensive kettle, so it earns our value pick. Number 4. Breville the IQ Kettle Electric Kettle. This is one of the most expensive kettles of the lot, but it's easy to see why. It pulled ahead of the pack in every one of our tests. Technically, it edged out the top-rated Cuisinart by 1/1000th of a point, but that wasn't enough to make up for the price difference between them. It has the most ergonomic raise lid button, and instead of springing open, the lid has a slow, controlled raise. The kettle is intuitive to use, with 5 clearly marked brew and programmable temperature settings, plus a 20-minute keep warm feature. It was also one of the fastest boilers, taking just over 5 minutes to reach a boil, and we like the way it beeps to alert you that your water is ready, rather than quietly shutting off like most of the kettles we tested. If you're serious about tea, this is a great pick. However, the Cuisinart earned our top spot because it's substantially cheaper while still having all the same bells and whistles. Number 5. Cosori Electric Gooseneck Kettle with 5 variable presets, pour-over kettle and coffee kettle. The Cosori Original Electric Gooseneck Kettle is a reasonably priced kettle that's great for making tea due to its temperature presets, hold function, and quick heating capabilities. To get started with the Cosori Original Electric Gooseneck Kettle, I added water up to the max line and brought it to a boil. I discarded the heated water and rinsed out the kettle's interior a few times. It was then ready to be used as normal. To use the kettle, I added water. I put the lid on and placed it on the electric base. I turned the kettle on with the on-off button and selected a temperature. The kettle will immediately start to heat the water. Once it has reached the set temperature, it will beep 3 times to indicate that it's done. If the hold button has been pressed, the kettle will maintain the set temperature for up to 1 hour. This electric kettle excels in heating water quickly. It only took about 4 to 5 minutes for it to boil water when filled to the max capacity. One downside is that it has a low water capacity of about 27 ounces. However, I only live in a 2-person household, so it worked fine for me. In testing the Cosori Original Electric Gooseneck Kettle, I used it to make pour-over coffee and tea. I quickly discovered that this kettle isn't the best for pour-over coffee. Though the gooseneck pour spout was much better than using a normal tea kettle for making pour-over coffee, I felt that the gooseneck lacked total control. As a result, I had a hard time pouring the water out evenly over the grounds and found that the water would flow out way too quickly. Due to the spout issue, I ended up not using this kettle for pour-over coffee after trying it several times. As mentioned above, I also used this kettle to make tea. I found that it worked best for this purpose. The buttons on the base correspond to 3 different tea temperature settings. Having the buttons labeled with the tea type's ideal temperature was a lovely convenience. I also liked the hold setting, so that I could keep the water hot if I wanted to make additional cups of tea for up to an hour. Also, the gooseneck pour spout was not a problem when making tea. I actually liked that the water